Talk now.
Hello, 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 hello. Dang it. Hello. You guys hear me now?
Shows that you've got sound.
Okay. Hear my little dang it. Well, I won't go through all that again. I hope you heard me say hello. If you didn't hear me say hello to each of you individually, hello to the group. Then I talked about scissors and scissor sharpeners and my Fisker scissor sharpener, which is still my tool of choice. Today we're going to make these fabulous shutter cards. I thought you were going to just go on one camera today. No? Okay. All right. All right. So we're making these beautiful shutter cards today. I love, love, love making these cards. Hi, Glenn. And they are just great fun to make. Let's take a look at what you get in your kit today. Each card has a band. Okay, hi Teresa Gillespie. Welcome, friend. Teresa's one of our local crafty friends. Hi, Roberta. Teresa's from Clatskanie, Oregon, which is just not too awfully far from Portland. I'm sure it feels far from Portland when she drives here, but okay, you get 6 5x7 envelopes. You get a packet. I broke up the remaining journaling cards that I had, and I put 16 journaling cards in each packet. So you get 16 journaling cards for these cards. You get a sheet of chipboard. You get an 8x8 book of leaded snow. You get a sheet of AB rhinestones, and you get lots of red. You'll see this is a little bit more red than what I used before, but they'll still be perfect. Red cardstock. We're going to begin by cutting a piece of cardstock to use as our card base. In fact, maybe we'll just make all our card bases at once, so I don't have to have so many tools on my desk. Get my scoreboard out here. Okay, we are going to cut off the little tab on our Basil Basics cardstock so that it doesn't become part of our measure. And we're going to cut some cardstock that is 10 inches long. I'm going to cut this to, oops. For some reason, didn't want to start from that end this time. Okay, 10 inches long by 7 inches wide. So let's just go ahead and cut some of those. Cut the little tab off. We're going to make 6 cards, and we're going to use almost everything in our kit on those 6 cards. We'll have a few little pieces left, but not too much really. 7x10s. But all that extra cardstock and still ended up managing to save a ruffled edge on that one. Keep all these. We're going to need them. Okay, package coming tomorrow for Ashley. Please keep an eye out. I will do so, Roberta. Okay. Cut my cardstock to 10 inches long by 7 inches wide. All these leftover pieces are going to become our belly bands and some of our layering pieces. So we have 3. We need 3 more. I gave you one extra just for those occasions when we might need an extra, or you need maybe some extra layering pieces. That's 4 of them. I always like to cut that strip off first, because if I don't cut it off, it inevitably becomes part of my measure for something important. Because it's easy to forget about it, especially if it's on the back side. One more. I've heard from quite a few of you about the Fancy Folds class, about the class for our Z folds and our center stepper cards. And people have said, no, I do want to do it. So that's coming up now in December. So save all these little extra pieces. We're also going to do an explosion box using extra bits from this. So it will be great to have any of those little bits we have left over. Okay, so we've got our 10 by 7 inch cardstocks. We're going to belly bands need a tummy tuck. We're going to take our first card and we're going to score it at 2.5 inches. And I could score the other side at 2.5 inches, but let me tell you my preferred method. This cardstock is nice and flexible, so I'm going to fold over my other side to meet this side, and I'm going to take my scoring tool and I'm going to gently pull that crease in. By doing it this way, I know that my two sides are going to meet perfectly in the middle. An angel sticker. I'm not aware. I don't think I have a loose angel sticker. Okay, so to make my next one, I'm going to score it at 2.5 inches. I'm going to fold in my flap, and I'm going to bring this piece to meet the other one. And I'm going to gently pull that crease in there so I have a nice even fold. This is especially important on gatefold cards because you don't want to have a gap in the middle. And especially when you're building up the inside, having a gap in the middle causes you to see the stuff inside, which is a distraction from the outside. So we want to have these gatefolds nice and tight. Occasionally you'll still end up with a little gap, and if we end up with that, I'll show you how I fix it. I can put on wings and come on over. Oh, Glenn, you crack me up, buddy. Oh, gosh. Did you see his comment, honey?
Mm-mm.
Mary asked if anybody had an angel sticker to trade because she needs just one angel sticker. And Glenn said he'd put on his wings and come right on over.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. I'm not paying this. Cardstock is slightly different on one side than the other. I'm not really paying any attention to which side's up, and that's a question to you when you're working with it, because both sides are getting covered, so I don't really care which side's up. Last one. Oh, somebody report them, please. Get them, Mary. Thank you. Thank you, Betty G. Thank you, Mary. All right, we have all 6 card bases made. So I don't think we need, well, actually we are going to still need our scoreboard, so I'll leave that out. All right, let's get our book out of here and decide which, let's just do this. I suppose we could do this one first. Let's pull our pieces we're going to want for this. Okay, we're going to want get in here and get these. These 2 polar bear papers are the ones that have the snowflakes on the back. So I'm going to take those out. Let's see, that takes care of the front. In fact, I'm going to need all 3 of them. All 3 polar bear papers. Which we're going to use the snowflakes on the inside too. The polar bear. All right. And we're going to need, actually we're going to, see these little flaps? I actually decorated those at the end. We're going to decorate the backs of the cards and these flaps last. And that way we make sure that we have all the critical pieces where we need them, because we can trade around what we use on those. So let's see, I think we're ready to go. All right, I'm going to take the little tabs off of these. I think we might need to trade around a little bit. Of course, I grabbed the one card that probably had extra pieces in it to start with, because that's what I would do. Okay, I'm going to take the tab off of this one. And we're going to cut. I want to make sure this polar bear paper is actually directional. So my finished card is 5 by 7. And we are going to want to make this 6 3/4, this piece right here in the back, 6 3/4, 4 3/4 wide by 6 3/4 long. So I'm going to grab my card and I'm going to put this piece down first. I'd like to cut the biggest pieces I need first, because many times I can cut the scraps to do my smaller pieces, but the big pieces you need to cut first. And like I said, even though the back is a big piece, we're going to decorate the back last. Because I can put anything I want on the back. I'm just going to put stuff on the back to make it look finished. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and cut the flaps for the front. And I want my front panels here, these two panels. These two panels to be it's 2.5, so 2 1/4 by 6 3/4. That should be a perfect fit here, leaving a little red border around the outside, and it is 2 1/4 by 6 3/4. So we're going to go ahead and put these down on the front. Now see, I actually do have a tiny gap there. And you saw how careful I was, but it happens sometimes. I guess I'm just supposed to show you what I would do when I have a gap. You don't notice it till you put something in the middle. But that's okay. Now I can show you what I do if I have a gap in the middle. I found here 2 possible quilling dogs. Of course, hello, just dropped that on my table. I didn't have the patterns that go with them, but you can look at the designs and kind of decide what to do for the dogs, Mary R. So I sent them to you in the email. I hope you got those. Okay, let's go ahead and finish the outside. I want to go to my journaling cards packet, and I'm going to get this great big Santa. There he is. I'm going to take this right off the journaling card. Put the rest of these away for now. Now I'm going to put my journaling card on a piece of my leftover paper, on my backing paper, because this does matter. I'm going to put it on the smooth side. I'm going to put this on a piece of backing paper because it makes the cover heavier. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this onto a piece of backing paper. Oh my gosh, it's spot on. Mary, I couldn't believe it. In fact, Ashley she loves to make crocheted animals, and she came upstairs and I showed that to her and said, if I buy this pattern, will you make this for me and let me buy it from you? And she said, yes. So I don't know how soon I'll get it because she has a lot going on in her life, working pretty much 7 days a week and taking care of our little munchkin. But that's what she loves to do in the evenings, is sit and crochet. So I have one coming sometime when she gets it done. Look at this Santa. Isn't he beautiful? He's beautiful. Let's see, my gap is super tiny there because this topper is so very big. I'm going to glue this down, but I'm only going to put my glue to the halfway mark. Because it's going to overlap the other side. Still have a little bit of glue showing there. So I'm going to get myself a baby wipe here. And I'm just going to wipe along that line. You can absolutely pick up glue on paper without ruining anything as long as you don't scrub. If you scrub with it, you're in trouble because the paper will bunch up. Okay. But lightly picking it up you can do. All right. On the outside, I'm going to get my gems. And I'm going to put 3 of these beautiful gems at the top. Hi, Laura. I will, Mary. When the time comes that I get it. Again, it could be 2 months from now, or it could be 2 years from now. I don't know. And I put the gems starting at the dashed line on the inside. I'll hold this up so you can see that dashed line. Oops. Go into the inventory, go in and show one less kit in the inventory, if you would, please. I just realized I didn't keep a second kit out for myself for the on-site class. So,
Big commerce?
huh?
Big commerce?
Yeah.
And what's the I'm looking for?
Continue. You're going to go to put in Shutter Card in the Cert Good Products. Go to Shutter Card. That, yeah, well, right there, yeah. Ooh, zero that out, please. They're now officially gone. I thought of that in the nick of time, didn't I? My stock level is now 0. Okay, this kit is now officially gone. Guys, I had to take the last one for doing the on-site class and this. Okay, there's the outside of my card. Those beautiful big rhinestones on it, that really sets it off. Okay, now let's go to the inside. And on the inside of my card, I need a panel that is 3.5 inches wide, which is exactly what this leftover piece was we had after doing the 2 2.25. This is 3.5 by 8, which is perfect. This is just the perfect size right now. I'm going to score this piece that I had left over. It's, once again, it's 3.5 inches by 8 inches, and I'm going to score it at 5/8. I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to score the other. I'm scoring it on the long sides, and I'm going to score it again at 5/8. Now I'm going to fold this piece, a nice score line, and I'm going to glue it to the top of my card here. Oops, no, I'm not. I'm going to cut my hole out of it first. And I have that die sitting right here. Here it is. I want to cut my hole out of it first now. I usually measure this, but I start down about...
It's just the big lights
Oh,
on it.
I start down about that far. I'm going to say about 1.25 inches or thereabouts. I'm going to get some of my Post-it tape here. I'm going to hold that ring in place. And I'm going to run this through my die cutting machine. Okay, I've got my ring cut. Let me tell you the dimensions of that ring again. This little ring I have on here is let's see, it's 2 1/4. It cuts a 2 1/4 inch hole, which is just right for our peekaboo window there. Now I'm going to glue it down. Okay. Now I'm going to find the image I'm going to use on the inside. I'm going to go back to I believe they're in here. I think that I'm looking for this. 'Tis the Season that I have in the window. If it's not on here, it's likely to be on the back of one of my pieces of paper. Oh, there it is. There it is. It's on that big journaling card. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut this journaling card down to fit my window. And I'm going to want his face and the words to show through my window. I'm going to cut it down about like that. Now, I'm also going to, these are going to need to be trimmed off anyway. So I'm going to save these little border pieces. I'm going to save that little border piece there. Yeah, that looks good right there. I'm going to save this border on the bottom because they're beautiful and I can use those. I think I'll let the border stay on the top because it positions me right about where I want to be. I have to decide where I want to cut this. I'm cutting this right at the edge of that foliage, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this. And there we go. We have perfect polar bear in the window, so we're going to glue this down. It seems a shame to cut this journaling card, I know. This big, pretty journaling card, but we're going to use the pieces of it, so it's not a waste. Over just a little. Just take a good look at how it appears through your window. And that looks great. That's just what I want right there. All right. Now I can go ahead and I can fold this flap at the bottom. Hi, Elsie. Good to see you, friend. And I can, by scoring these at 5/8, I leave a little border at the bottom, which I like. If you score them at the 1/2 inch that the original directions said, they go clear from the top to the bottom, and I like it fitting within the margins, so we've already set. Okay, let's see. Now, I need to look at my panels on the inside. And I think I can get both of these out of one. Can I do that? Yeah, I think I can do that. I think I can get both of these. Okay, this piece right here, the shutter, the ones that create the shutter itself, that needs to be 3.5 wide by 7.5 long. 3.5 wide by 7.5 long. I'm going to go ahead and cut a 3.5 wide. And now I'm going to go ahead, since I have this piece here, I'm going to cut my 2.25 inch panel and my other 2.25 inch panel from that little piece I have left. So I got to cut them to 6 3/4 long. 2.25 by 6 3/4 will cut these two panels. So we're going to glue these in place next. I like to put a little glue on the inside of this one because it's going to get pulled on by the little opening mechanism. So it's good to have a little glue in the middle of this one too. These are such fun to make, guys. It's probably one of my favorite cards to make I've ever done. And you know me, I've done thousands of cards. I love this style. It's a little bit more challenging than some, which is part of what I love about it. Okay, and we've got paper on the inside. Now, this is what we're going to use for our shutters to open and close. We are going to take this 7.5 inch piece and we're going to score it at 3/8 on either end. So let's go ahead and score 3/8 of an inch and 3/8 of an inch on the other end. And we're folding this back against itself like this. But first we're going to cut this in half. We're going to cut this to 3 3/4, which is going to give us, should have given us, oh, maybe I didn't cut this off. 3 3/4, I didn't cut it off. So let me put my little 3/8 inch in here. I didn't cut it to 7 1/2. I just left it at 8. So that's why I didn't match up to begin with. Okay. So we've got our 2 little shutters here. This is not directional paper, so these snowflakes can go either way. And this is what's going to open and close for our window. Okay. We are going to find the 1 1/2 inch mark. One 1/2 inches in. That's a very good mark. And then we want it to be 1 3/4 inches down. I'm going to end up with a little black mark there because I didn't guess very well. I'm going to go, once I have my mark, down 1 1/2 inches. And I found center at 1 3/4 inches. I'm going to draw a line from the corner to that dot. See, it'd be better to do this in pencil, so I could have erased it. But I didn't because I don't have a pencil at this desk. I'm going to have a little dot there, but I don't care. And I'm going to cut that notch out. And now I'm going to take that same notch and I'm going to use it on the other side. I'm going to cut around my notch. And that's going to create my window mechanism. Okay. I'm going to bring my windows over here. I'm going to position them under my piece that comes down there. I like to make my windows, if I can, where they kind of intersect. So you're going to find that when I say the intersect, I mean I've got these pieces of paper so that one flap goes under the other flap and one flap goes over. See what I mean? I don't know if you can see that. Come in closer, honey. Way over there. So see how one piece of paper kind of goes over the top and one goes underneath? Can you see that? Yeah, that's what I like to do. I like to tuck those so that they go one over the other. And I'm going to line those up. I'm going to go ahead and put glue on this flap. And I want those to be pretty close to center when they come together. Rub that down a little bit. And then I'm going to put glue on the other side. Now sometimes I have to quickly adjust this a little bit because it doesn't, for one reason or another, it doesn't look totally even. So I'll just tell you that in advance, although this looks really pretty good. This could have come down just a fraction of an inch. So I can take that and I could move that down just a little so that my polar bear is, that when my window is open, you see most of the bear. There we go. We still have just a little more showing on this side. I'm going to adjust that just a tiny bit more. That's the beauty of using wet glue on this, is I get a nice open window by adjusting that just a little bit. Okay, let's go to our paper pack and find some embellishments. And we go to our paper pack and we're going to go to our chipboard sheet. On our chipboard, we have this really pretty little flag. That says Merry Christmas with a polar bear. That just seems very appropriate for this card. Right here we have the Merry Christmas chipboard. I'm going to put that up at the top. I'm also going to use this little rabbit from my chipboard down here. And I'm going to adhere this one down here. These are such fun to make. I'd say that again, but they really, really are. Now, oh, it's a little piece out of my chipboard. A little funny thing wandering around there was a little hole out of my chipboard piece. Okay. Like I said, I'm going to come back in later and I'm going to fill in this panel because I want to use my leftovers to do that. And I want to use some border pieces here to just kind of accent. And I'm going to go ahead and use these pieces I cut off of the frame because I think that'll look really nice here. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this to 2 1/4 inches wide. I'm cutting the corners off. And I'm going to cut this little frame piece I had here. And I'm going to put it right at the bottom here. That looks good. Even the little dashes look very appropriate here. So I'm going to put this one here. And then I'm going to cut another piece off of this. One that we cut earlier. I'm just going to trim this up so I'm taking any extra off. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this little piece to be 2 1/4 inches. And then I still have this piece of frame left, which I can use on a different card. And I'm going to put, well, that's interesting. They let it snow. And okay, to make these two match, I'm going to cut my, the let it snow was in a different order on this side of the tag. So I'm going to glue this down, then glue that border piece above it so they look the same. I let it snow here. Then I'll use the little border piece and glue it right above it. Okay, and I want to see where I got these two tags that I used. So let's go to our paper pack. Whoops, hello. And find those two little tags I used on the inside. Here they are. Yeah. I'm going to use this piece of paper as one of my tag sheets. So you can see how many pieces of paper we've taken from our book already and why I said that we're going to get 6 cards out of this book, but you're not going to have an awful lot left. I'm going to go ahead and cut out this Santa and the rabbits at one time because I want both of these tags. I'm being careful with my border piece here. I've got that beautiful holly that I can use as a border inside one of my cards. So I'm not going to cut any more of that than I have to, and I'm going to try and use everything off of this tag sheet. Okay, so there's the 2 tags I wanted. I'm going to I got a little bit of extra red on the side here. I'm going to trim off. I'm going to trim between the rabbit and the let it snow. I'm going to put the rabbit on this side. So I've got rabbits on both sides. I'll put my So Very Merry here, my rabbit. And then I'm going to put my Santa down below here. Let's put him right here in the middle. And this is done, except that we're going to come back and cover this and cover the back of our card using our leftover pieces. So we're not cutting up anything that we might need for our others. So there we go. There's our first shutter card out of this set. Oh, no, we're not done. We got to do our belly band. I know you guys don't like it when I call it the belly band. In fact, we still have to do my band. And let's see what we used for that. On this one, I used one of my pieces of chipboard, and I used one of my leftover pieces of my red cardstock. So I'm going to slide this in place, and that looks really pretty across the face of that. So let's get our, we're going to get this off our chipboard. Here's the Santa with the 'Tis the Season. So we'll get that. And we're going to get our long pieces here that we cut off. And I'm going to take one of these and I'm going to cut it to 1 inch wide. I'm going to wrap this around my card. Don't pull it too tight because it has to slide back over your card. And look at where they join. Join about there. So I'm going to glue these two ends together. And then right on top of that, I'm going to put this "'Tis the Season" tag. Remember, that's only 1 inch wide, so don't get glue everywhere. You only want it to be 1 inch wide. Don't want to glue it to the face of our card. I'm noticing, if you see me kind of picking at it, I'm noticing that it has a little extra piece of stray chipboard in that hole. I want it to clear out. Not a bad idea to pull this off and make sure that we're not getting glue on the card. No, it's okay, but I just wanted to make sure. And I'm going to get to my rhinestone sheet. And we're going to add rhinestones. Now, sometimes these self-adhesive rhinestones, the adhesive doesn't want to stay on very well. I just put glue on them. Hi, Annette. So I'm going to put glue all over that. I'm going to glue it right over that hole on the tag.
What card number are we on?
1. We're just
First card?
finishing the first card. Yeah, these take a while to do. We may not finish all 6 in class, but we will. Whoops. But we'll know exactly what to do, and we'll look at the other cards so you'll know which papers and stuff to try. If you want to follow the same, you don't have to follow the same. You will have just enough. You are going to have just enough papers and things in this kit to do 6 cards. There is just not going to be a lot left over. So there we go. There's number 1 done, but we're still going to add a backing to this when we finish, and we're still going to cover that flap inside. But number 1 is finished. Let's get our next one. Okay, this time we can actually make our band first if we want to. There's nothing special about 1 inch band. It can be any size I want, although this looks just a little uneven. Let me see. I'm going to go ahead and cut it to 1 inch just so I have it nice and even. Let's go ahead and do the band since I have this other paper sitting right here. We're going to get, I can fold it around this card to get my band size. Just remember, don't pull these too tight or you'll have a heck of a time getting the bands on and off your cards. You don't want that. Go ahead and put that in place. This band, we're going to use this beautiful So Very Merry on our band. And the tag is quite a bit wider than the band itself, so I'm going to put my glue on the band. I'm not sparing the glue. You can see I'm using quite a bit on here. This piece of chipboard is pretty big, and fairly heavy by comparison to my card. So I'm going to hold that in place for a second. I love the way the colors coordinate in all of these pieces. So you really can't go wrong in mixing and matching your colors for these cards. Everything goes well with everything else, which is the beauty of using a pack like this. I think, I bet you guys figured out by now that I really, really like the Let It Snow collection. I think you figured that out, right? Since we did an album, we did these shutter cards, and we're going to do the three fun folds class, all out of the same one. Okay, we've got our band done for our next card. And let's go ahead and pull the band off of this one and see what we used. We want that diamond kind of pattern here. And we got all kinds of papers inside this one. Okay, well, let's start by getting a blank card out. What are we going to put in the background of this one? We're going to put in the background of this one a green check there. That is not it.
Hi, Karen.
Hi, Karen. There's the green check. I'm going to use this one for the background here. It's got those beautiful borders on it. Hard to cut those up, but you know, we have to do it. We have to cut them up, guys. We have to cut them up. We get 3 of each, so we'll have probably one that we can use too. Okay, this background piece is going to be 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. If I turn it this way, then I'll still have some of my borders I can use. So 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. And I'm going to put my big piece in the back. Again, we want to do our biggest pieces first. It's actually a little long. I'm going to cut that just a bit more. Just didn't have enough of a border around it. To leave a border, we'd have to have enough of a border to see, right? Okay. Oh, I didn't say hi to Adeline. Hello, Adeline. I see there's somebody else speaking to you. You're there. I didn't see you come in, but obviously I was a little distracted too. I was seeing Thelma today. Where is that codger hiding out? Did she forget us? I know she's working on a big project. She probably got busy working on it and forgot about us. Okay, oh, Karen's here too. Hi, Karen.
You just said hi to her.
Huh? Did I just say hi to her?
Mm-hmm.
I said hi to Adeline last.
Before that was Karen.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm going to put the green there. I'm going to go find that diamond pattern. There we go. Get that diamond pattern. This is actually going to be the cover of our album when we do it. And we're going to cut this piece of paper. We're going to use this twice. We're going to use this on the pullouts. We're going to use this on the 2 end pieces. So I'm going to, I don't think it matters which way I do this. Okay. going to do 2 1/4 and 2 1/4. And these are going to be by 6 3/4 for my covers. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, I'm going to put this panel on, leaving a little border all the way around it. These red cards look good with this. Well, of course, I didn't have any red cards on the store. That's why we're making our own today. Okay. Here we go. We've got our panels in. And what is this? This is perfectly sized to be our pullouts. So we're going to cut this to 7.5 inches. And this is going to become our shutter windows. Now, let's see what else we got here. We have tabs on that. A little swig of coffee there. Oh, that's good coffee. Okay, let's see. We are going to use one of these green from our book. This is the last one, so it's really glued to that back cover. Careful when you're taking something out like this, because you don't want to tear your paper. Keep that handy. All right. I'm going to trim this edge strip off. And I'm being careful because this is directional paper. So I should have just enough to do my 2 1/4 inch strips. 2 of them. And have enough left, which is we have a perfect piece left to do our 3.5 by 8. And we're going to put these 2, since we trim the extra off, because they need to be 6 3/4. We will have just enough left to do that, have that centerpiece. So let's go ahead and put these 2 green on the outer edges. So we'll glue these down. Oh no. Boy, I have done that a million times, Betty. Go to a room for something and get there and not remember what I went for. Carry something from one room to the other and lose it. Oh my gosh, yes. And you see me lose stuff on my desk every single class. So the fact that I'm a messy crafter doesn't help. I watch all these people who look so organized and orderly, and I think, yeah, you're taping that because you have a mess like me most of the time. Okay. All right. We're going to glue both of these panels in. And a little extra glue in the middle because they're holding that hinge that holds the window. And we're going to pop these panels in here. I don't know why this appears to be longer on this side. I'll pull that back up and trim it just a little. You guys just saw me cut those at the same time. One looks longer than the other. That looks better. Okay, I'm going to take this 3.5 by 8-inch piece. I'm going to score it and cut my hole out of it. We'll score it 5/8 inch at the top. As I find a scoring tool. 5/8 inch. 5/8 inch. Okay. And we're going to next apply our little circle die. Now it's folding here. So from the fold, I want it to be down about 1.5 inches. I don't measure most things. I just guesstimate. So I'm going to put that ring there with some Post-it tape. Walk around here. Run this through my die cutter. If you don't have a die cutter, just come up with something that's about between 2 and 2.5 inches. Trace around it and cut your circle out. Okay, let's go ahead and glue this first piece in place. Use lots of glue putting a set of these cards together. Oh, it is daylight savings time tonight, isn't it? Thank you for the reminder. Okay, this time we want the Santa face with the rabbit. He's not on that sheet. Let's go to our journaling cards and see if that's where he is. Where did those journaling cards go? Here's somewhere there. Oh, there he is. So very merry. He's going to go in here. Okay. And I'm going to position him and take a look at. Oh, that looks great, just like that. Looks great. I'm going to save my border strips from the side. I'm not sure I have enough room on this side to take the blue too. So I'm just going to take the Let It Snow. So I'll save that, use that Let It Snow. And then let's look at that again. I love that. That looks so good. Okay. I can draw a line along here. I'm going to save this border along the bottom because these borders are beautiful. We can reuse that. Leaving the border on the top because it wouldn't have to. Yeah, that looks great. Perfect. Let's glue that in the back. And I told you in the last 5 minutes how much I love making these cards. I really, really love these. They're just such fun. And I've learned so much about using my journaling cards and looking at the component pieces for little edges and stuff that I can use. I really inspect every piece before I throw anything away because there's so many useful little things you can use. Okay, we've got that in, so we can fold this edge and we can glue this down now. Next, we're going to build our shutters. All right. Now, let's see here. We saved this piece earlier to use as our shutter piece. We're going to score this at 3/8 inch on each side. Eighth inch, and we're going to cut this at 3 3/4, which is half of 7 1/2. Right, now let's find out. The time I did trim off the extra. Now I have these triangles. And I'm just going to use one of these triangles from before. Why do all that measuring twice, especially since we know they fit really well? The mechanism worked well. Let's just put that up there and make the triangles the same size, right? Now you do have to be kind of careful if this shutter is directional, that your patterns are going the right direction. This is the voice of experience speaking. This one is not directional, so I don't have to be as careful. But you do have to be careful when this pattern is directional. And it seems weird because the pattern is going sideways, not... Sometimes, and I don't exactly understand why, there's a little tiny space left in the center, even though we use the same measurements each time. I don't care if there's a little 1/4 inch space left in the center, because by the time that a person opens the starts opening the card, it's already going to be opening as they, the shutter is already going to be opening as they open the card, so nobody will ever notice that there is a little 1/4 inch. Now, remember, we're going to glue this, but then we're going to check it, and we'll alter this side of the window just a bit if we need to. I do want to make sure that that is as close to center as possible, so I have less manipulation to do, but I'm not at all beyond lifting this a little bit and moving it. Now, this is pretty darn good this time, but I am going to move this down just a tad, because see, I kind of have a little bit of my border kind of messing with my rabbit there. And I can't have that. I want it to let as much of my picture show as possible.
And that says, wait until you're tired after making 4 albums back to back and you realize you put in a page upside down.
Oh, no. There we go. That looks good. Does that look nice? Look at that. That's beautiful. Okay. Since I used this blue on the inside and the outside, and then we have the green, I kind of like to pick up a little of that blue again. And what I used last time, and I think I'll use again this time on my border, is a little piece of this polar bear paper. It's so cute. And the tag doesn't have to be quite as wide. If I'm making a tag out of it, it doesn't have to be quite as wide. So I'm just going to cut a full pattern of the mother and her cub out of this leftover scrap. I use these scraps over and over again, guys. I mean, every little shred of paper gets used, which is one of the things I love about this album style, because you can just get totally creative and use things in whatever manner you want to. So I have that, and that actually is a really nice complement to the blue on there. So I'm going to go ahead and glue those down. Just those little polar bears that look so cute right here. And I'm going to put another one over here. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, here we go. I'm going to put the Santa Claus with the reindeer at the bottom here. And then I have this beautiful 'Tis the Season polar bear. I can kind of match my polar bears top and bottom by putting that in there. So let's do that. I don't usually use rhinestones on the inside because that would just create too much bulk. The chipboard is about as much bulk as you want to create on the inside. Okay. Use this beautiful Santa and the reindeer here. And then I'm going to get a little piece of border, leftover border strip. One of these we cut off. I'm going to put a little Let It Snow at the bottom here. If something's not quite long enough. Okay, let's try a different one. I still have this beautiful long stretch here. That should be enough for both sides. So let's do a Let It Snow right there. Put that right under our polar bear. Oh, that looks so cute. Okay. And we're going to put a little Let It Snow over here. Just using the pattern to guide where to clip these off. This one here. We need to finish the outside of our card. So let's go to the outside now. And we use that So Very Merry bunny. He's so cute. He's one of the smaller tags. Let's see what we've got here. There he is. I'm going to use that tag. I'm going to border that in some of my red and make that just a little stronger. And then, let's see. Then I need some kind of an accent for the outside of my card. Let's see. But let's start with, I know I had a piece there of red. I knew I had a piece of red that was just about the right size for that, and we did. So let's go ahead and take this piece here. See, even the backs of these journaling tags are beautiful. This kit is now officially sold out, and unfortunately, I don't have more of the journaling tags. So this one is truly and officially sold out. Now, if you wanted to do this, I am going to be listing some of the papers individually as soon as I know that I have all of my kits made. We'll be listing some of the 8x8 and 12x12 papers separately. And if you don't have journaling cards, what you could do is use both a 12x12 and an 8x8 book and take the larger images, like the journaling images from the 12x12 papers. Let's go ahead and glue this down in the center. Have your baby wipe handy in case glue goes a little over. Do you guys love these cards as much as I do? I really, really love these. I can't wait to give some of these for Christmas. I think these may have to be our Christmas cards, honey. What do you think?
Some of them have too many.
Well, by the time I finish 3 classes, I'll have at least 18. And since I won't need to keep them since we are going to be officially sold out of this kit. Okay, let's see what we have for accents for the outside. I used a pretty little 'Tis the Season polar bear at the top. Now I need a little accent piece of some sort for the other three corners. I could use these poinsettia borders. I think that's pretty. Let's maybe just do that. Let's use this little poinsettia border right here this time. Be a little different than last time, but last time I used little polar bears off one of the border sheets, but I obviously cut the tags or cut that piece differently because I don't have the polar bears on my border this time. So this time I'm going to use these poinsettias as my accents on the cover. We're adaptable, highly adaptable. I have plenty of this poinsettia borders, or holly border. It's not poinsettias, it's holly. I have plenty of this holly border to create these pretty little accents. Let's just cut 3 2¼ inch strips of this. You can see why I said save every piece, because even this little cutoff becomes something fun and usable. So we're going to put that on there. That's going to look beautiful. Good night, Karen. Okay, I'm going to need an opinion here. So do you guys want to do one more card? Or do you want to go ahead and look at the others and see how the papers were used? And where did my pen go? I need a pen. No, I guess there's some more glue bottles here. I need a pen for that glue bottle. I keep leaving it uncapped. But I think I have another glue bottle here I can go to. That looks so pretty. Just gives it a nice little finishing touch. So do you guys have an opinion about whether you want to do a third card or whether you want to just look at the samples? I'm game either way. I am here for you, so you guys can decide. Third card or just look at the samples on the papers. That's what you're voting on. I do believe they're ignoring me. Are you guys ignoring my question? Could it be possible that you're ignoring my question?
They're all eating dinner.
That's true. They've got their mouths full. Fork in their hand. Okay, this one is done, with the exception that we'll come back and cover this tab. Either's fine with me. I vote show examples. Okay, either's fine. Samples. Third card, please. Oh, so far we're tied. Keep voting, guys. Okay, and we've already finished our band for this one. There we go. Isn't he beautiful? Oh, it's just so much fun, guys. It's just so much fun. I just can't tell you how much I love doing this. And we should have, there's another band. So these to our finished. Oh, I did do something else to this that I should do on this one. We have all these lovely little snowflakes around this rabbit. So I took jewels and put in the centers of the snowflakes just to make them pop a little bit more out of the background. So I took some of the little jewels and just put in the snowflakes to make it shiny, because why not? Well, it's 3:30. Is it 3:30? We do have, I mean, I usually assume that we can go up to 5 o'clock on Saturdays, because I assume Saturdays are longer classes. So let's go ahead and do just one more card, and then we'll look at we're going faster now. I just made a mess with my glue on that one. Let's just pull that off and start again. We'll do one more card, and then we'll just look at the papers used in each of the others. How's that? Because you'll know exactly what to do. We'll have done it 3 times. And okay. I do so love making these. Oops. I just glued that down and then slid my band right over the top of it, moved the jewel. But there we go. That one's done. That one's done. I'll set these off to the side. And let's pick another. Okay. This one's the poinsettia based one. This one's really pretty too. Okay, so let's get our background papers. We'll grab another of our cards we created. Now you certainly could use stickles on some of these, and that would be glorious. You absolutely could do that if you wanted. Let's get our papers out of our book. We're going to use the green, this green background again. On the cover, we're going to use our journaling card with the great big poinsettia. It's the one that says Merry Christmas at the bottom. There it is. And we're going to layer that. And what did we put in the middle? I used the diamond check in the middle of this one. Let's get that diamond check paper again. There it is. We're also going to use some of the poinsettias. So let's grab that one. And let's get going here then. We'll start on, well, we said we'll start with the largest check first. I can cut off that down. I'm going to go to 4 3/4. by 6 3/4 for our inside panel. So we'll glue this one down. I love the look of the poinsettias on the cover of this one against the green background. I think that's really pretty. Kind of gravelly today. Dad and I went and had our flu shots and our COVID boosters. And I've been a little gravelly since. Okay, I'm going to cut my panels out of this. We're going to 2 1/4 by 6 3/4 for our outside panels. We'll put these down. Would you turn that coffee maker back on and let it heat? Make me another cup out of that same pod, please. It's nice strong coffee, so I'm sure it'll still be good for a second cup. Drink it down enough that it'll fit. Okay, we got the nice green background with the red around it. Let's get our topper and let's put that on one of our pieces of leftover from making our card bases. This works out really well, doesn't it? Just to send you 12 by 12. I don't know that we're even going to need to use that 7th piece of paper. I probably sent more than I needed to, but I'd rather do that than have you come up short on anything. I'll show you guys the back of this tag. The back of this tag was beautiful too, isn't it? Okay, we'll go ahead and order this. And just trim that out, give that just a little bit more weight and substance where it's hanging over there. Because you guys know I like to do that. If I have a piece that's sticking out, I like to reinforce it. I need to get my margin smaller because I eyeballed that one badly. Thank you, honey. Hope everybody's getting your boosters out there. Other than just being tired and a little bit gravelly, we haven't had any ill effects from our boosters. We haven't had any ill effects from our boosters at all. Like I said, I've been just a little gravelly and tired. I was more tired. So was Dad. He slept the whole next day. He sleeps a lot anyway, but he slept the entire day after, literally the entire day after he had his booster shot. But my arm wasn't sore and I haven't been sick at all. Oh, that's pretty. Let's put some rhinestones on there to make that extra pretty. Putting 3 right here, starting at the blue corner inside the frame. Boy, I love these papers. Did I tell you that in the last 20 minutes? I probably did. Because every paper is beautiful. Some of them not on their own, but they're all beautiful together. Imagine putting little stickles on there too. Wouldn't that be nice? No kidding, Mary R. All right. I'll open that back up and see what we're going to do next. Okay, we got our background in. I believe this is going to be 3.5 by 8. There it is. This one that we used on the front after we cut off our 2 2.25 is 3.5 by 8, which is perfect for our centerpiece. Get our die. Put on here. Let's get our scoreboard. Score these at 5/8. It's a little off, I think. Just eyeballing that. I want it to be pretty centered. My scoring tool, I'm going to score these at 5/8. Score it there. Score it there. Pop it in the die cutter. Okay, get that done. Pop that circle out. All right, fold this down and glue the top. No, we don't glue the top and the bottom yet. You want to leave yourself a little room to work to put your image in. So by gluing just the top and not the bottom initially, you have a little bit more working room. You can kind of flip this flap up and get in and see what you're doing. And so it's a hint. It's not going to hurt anything if you glue this early, but if you glue it early, you don't have as much flexibility to get in there. We're going to use this Marion Bright tag out of the journaling in the center. Let's put this in and see how we're doing. This needs to come way down. The blue will probably show just a little bit at the top, although that actually looks pretty good right there. I'm going to draw a little line on this to know where I need to cut that off. These littler tags kind of fit really easily in here. So I'm going to glue that right there. That looks great. Press it down. We've got our merry and bright showing through the window. I can go ahead and glue this down now. Fold it up on my score line and glue that right on down. Okay, next we're going to take our poinsettia paper and we're going to trim that strip off. And I'm going to cut 2 2¼ which leaves us with a 3½ by 7 or by 8. I'm going to cut that to 3½ by 7½. And this is going to become our poles. Oops, I didn't turn these to 6 3/4. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, we're going to glue these into place. Boy, doesn't that look pretty against that red? Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. Put this in place with a nice border all the way around it. Come over here. Put a little bit in the middle because that pole goes right through the middle. Want it to stay together. I still have to go get my shingle shot. I haven't done that yet. Okay, we have the nice poinsettia papers there. We have our beautiful poinsettia here. We're going to score this to 3/8 inch on each end. Oh, there we go. Stop it. Okay, there we go. You ever talk to your paper? Boy, people would think I'm got screws loose the amount of time I spend talking to my tools and my paper. I'm going to cut this to 3 3/4, which will be in half, and it worked. I'm going to take my triangle from before, using the long end. Make sure that you're using, one side's 3½, one side's 3 3/4. That's one reason I score it right up front, so I can keep track of which side it is my score lines. Because of my score lines, I've heard that you have to have 2. The only thing better for me than trying to get in for 1 appointment is get in for 2. Both necessitate leaving home, and I'm not good at that. Okay, I've got my windows cut. I'm going to go ahead and fold this side up, stick it in. I'm going to go ahead and fold this side up and stick it in. I'm going to try and interweave those just a little and try and get that window right to the middle, because the closer I can get it, the less adjustment I need to do. I'm going to put glue on one side. The shingle shot, I don't think you have to have that every year. Anybody know how often you have to have the shingle shot? I don't think it's an every year thing. I think it's like one and done, but I'm not positive. Anybody else know? I got no clue.
I think it's a one and done.
Bryce agrees. He thinks it's a one and done. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put glue on this side and know that I will use, I'm going to put lots of glue because I can use this side to adjust that a little bit if it's necessary to adjust it. I get a little sloppy with my glue there. Close this panel. Let's see how we're doing. Ooh, it came out perfect the first time. Looky there. Nice and even, perfect the first time. See there? That looks gorgeous. Love it! Love it! Okay. Open this back up. And from that piece we had earlier, yes, I'm going to cut this Santa. I'm going to try and cut this so that I can still use all these borders. So cut in along the border and carefully clip him out. And I'm going to put him over here. Which looks great against the blue there. And, oops. Kind of positioned too badly. Should have been centered on the flowers. My baby wife and wipe up my extra glue. And where did I get that one? Okay. I need my chipboard. There it is. And I'm going to take the 'Tis the Season with the Owl.
Say goodnight to Betty Jean.
Good night, Betty G. I'm going to put that right down here. I'm going to blow my out by opening. And I'm going to look at the border pieces I had left earlier. And I have this really pretty blue poinsettia strip there. There's a runaway jewel there. I'm going to take this pretty dark blue poinsettia border and cut that out. I like the little green dots on it. So I'm going to put that here. I may use that at the top too. I like that. That looks great. Come in with my scissors and cut that to the sides. Maybe just a little bit more off. Glue this in place. Let's go ahead and put this one at the top. That looks nice. Unless I can interfere though. No, I don't think it will since it's all on here. Yeah, that's going to look nice. All right, I need one more Santa piece here. And then try and let's see. Let's see which one he is. It's off of this one. So I'm going to go ahead and take this one out. I'm going to cut this border in such a way that I can still use all the border pieces. Just come right up the border. I'm going to cut this little Santa out here with the Let It Snow border around it. I'm going to put that over here because it really corresponds nicely with the one on the other side. With the exception of the flap on the inside, which we're going to do last using our leftovers. That is done on the inside. It's done on the outside. Let's put a band together for that. I'm going to grab more of my trim off. See, we have all these long, beautiful pieces from when we cut out our card bases. So I'm going to cut a 1-inch band. I actually have a little wider one. Yeah, I have, let's see. I have a little wider one here. I'm going to go ahead and use this little wider one because I'm going to use this great big chipboard piece of this band. It's 2 pieces. And take this out. I'm going to put some rhinestones. I'm going to use the in-between size rhinestones on this one. These medium size. I'm going to put 3 rhinestones on this wider place. It's like a slide frame. And I'm going to put 3 rhinestones on this wider piece of the chipboard. That looks good. That one's a little higher. There we go. Okay. I'm going to wrap this around my card. Being careful not to wrap it so tight that I can't get the band on and off. Especially since I have the jewels and stuff. So I want it to be able to slide nicely. I measured that off with my eye. Didn't measure it. I looked at it with my eye and thought I was getting it in the right place and then put the glue in exactly the wrong place. And I glue these 2 ends together. then I'm going to take this Santa tag and I'm going to start gluing about here. And I'm going to put it on so that I catch both pieces of that chipboard, both the loose inner piece and the frame. Take that off and make sure I don't have any glue anywhere I don't want it. That looks good. Looks fine. Slide that right back on. And this one is done, with the exception that we'll put something on the back, which you don't really have to do, by the way. But you can. And I will use whatever piece I have left. And then I will come back and I will use a piece on that flap on the inside, just to give that kind of a little bit more finished look. And we have finished 3 of our cards together. Now we'll just look at the samples and look at the paper and anything else we have done that's different. So we still have 3 of our cards left. Okay. The next one, we're using the big chipboard piece. And I just put 3 little rhinestones on that tag also. Come in closer on these one, please. Let's see if we can get cleared up so we can really focus on these cards. So I used this off of my chipboard sheet and then put 3 rhinestones here. Once again, stickles would be really nice on these. Pull our band off. I used the Merry and Bright from the journaling cards, and I put a few extra rhinestones in the centers of those snowflakes just to kind of, you don't see it much on camera, but in person, it really adds a nice glittery effect to those snowflakes. This time I used the Merry and Bright bird paper pack. That looks really fun with the Merry and Bright tag, by the way. And this time you can see I just had some leftover pieces from cutting off my 2 1/4 inch strips, the extra. And I used those at the bottom and at the top, and I think that looks really fun. And it's just a leftover piece of paper on the inside. I used the holly background. I cut my 2 1/4 by 6 3/4 inch strips from that. And that I cut my 4 3/4 by 6 3/4 from that same holly paper. I used a strip of our poinsettia paper to create the shutters. And this time I put the Santa going down the chimney in the center. I added my, let's see, Merry and Bright tag from my chipboard pack right under that Santa. And I added these off of these are right off of the label sheet. These 2 little ones here. I used a little tiny, and I believe this is off the, there's a little tiny brown border here that says Merry and Bright. I cut that and did 3 pieces, enough to go across under each one of those. And just those little tiny finishing touches like that just make such a difference. This one I forgot to cover the inside of it, so I'll have to go back and do that when I do my others. But that's what we did to make this one. Next, here's another one using the robins. We had lots of robins journaling cards, didn't we? And I put the poinsettia paper in the background. Each time I use those journaling cards, I'm trimming that out with the extra cardstock. This time I used poinsettias, and I used these little tags, which I believe are all on the bordering sheet. No, that's not it. Where did those come from? Where did they come from? Well, in any case, oh, this is a piece of actual border. See right here? I just cut these to make peace, love, and joy in the robins. And then I used a different tag. That's what I did. I used peace, love, and joy. And I cut that border in 3 pieces to make my tags. And then just used another border that I liked up here. I put the jewels in the centers of the snowflakes. On the inside of this one, I carried through with the bird theme by putting "'Tis the Season" owl in the center of this one. I used my diamond paper. I used a piece of the border, one of my border scraps off of one of my tags, and I put snow or poinsettia borders there. And I used "So Very Merry," which was another scrap piece. And I put that border down here. Feel free to use whatever scraps you have available. I put the "So Very Merry" up here too. And see how this time, just to carry through my blue theme, because I had blue here and blue here and blue here, I put a little piece of my diamond paper behind my Santa Claus because it kind of helped fill the space and it pulled the blues together. This time, another thing I'll point out, I did not use a background piece in here, and actually I think that gives an interesting and fun appearance too. So that's up to you whether or not you choose to put that 4 3/4 by 6 3/4 in. So that's another choice you can make if you want to. On this band for this card, I used the chipboard piece, Season's Greetings, with the poinsettias, and I just put a jewel over the tag hole. Finally, one left. I used the same matching piece for the band and the tag. I have to say, this is a journaling card and this is a larger journaling card. No, maybe it's not. This is actually right out of the middle of this tag sheet. I take it back. It's not a journaling card. It's right out of the middle of that tag sheet. But what I liked about this was with the large journaling card and then the smaller one, they kind of nest. And I love the way that looks, where it one kind of fits inside the other one and just layers up. I thought that was really fun. So I used my big Santa Claus journaling tag. I added my rhinestones to it. I matted it on my burgundy. This time I have the holly background. Isn't that beautiful with that? That's so pretty. I used that kind of tile background on it, almost everything this time, except I did use a different. I used this piece of paper in my far background, in the 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. I used a couple of tags from my border sheet at the bottom here. And I used some more of that Let It Snow that I had left over from something. Used my green as the pullouts this time for the eye. Love this one. This was great fun to do. What kind of questions do you guys have for me? Any questions that you guys have for me? See, look at the way that kind of just nests on there. Isn't that fun? I love the way that looks. Just kind of center it in there. It looks so pretty. I'm easily entertained. Okay. Is there any questions for me? We still have plenty of paper left, but you can see this project takes a lot of paper. So it will pretty much eat up, especially when we go back and put backgrounds on our cards. It's pretty much, or the back flap, it's going to pretty much eat up the entire 8 by 8 pad. Let me tell you a little bit about what we have coming up. Let me drink here. What do I have coming up?
And tell.
Huh?
Mary's question is show and tell.
Do I have some show and tell? Let me tell you what I've got coming up for you. I have to look at my calendar and tell you what's coming up when. Okay. I don't know if I can turn this around. I think I can. Uh-oh, just lost my cords. This is the pattern that Mary sent me. That she wanted me to see. Oh, it's coming out very dark. That's not right. There it is. There it is. This is the crochet pattern that Mary sent me that I just bought and Ashley's going to make for me. Do you believe that? Doesn't that look just like Ted? And in fact, it's called the teddy bear dog, believe it or not. Can you believe that? It's like Teddy. Okay, anyway, I get distracted, especially with my dog. Let me tell you what we have coming up for you. I have to look at my calendar because for the next 2 months, I'm doing 6 sessions a week. Okay, let's see. In November, what I've got online for you at this point, today is the 5th. So on Thursday, I'm planning to do the requested demo of the Lisa Horton trailing poinsettia using the poinsettia embossing folder and then those layering stencils. So you can see how to use those. You guys made a special request for that. So that's coming up next Thursday. And that's what we'll be doing. Next Saturday is our Let It Snow album. We'll be doing that next Saturday. On Wednesdays, of course, we'll be here with What's New Wednesday. On the Thursday after that, which is the 17th, I just got these in, and we will be doing a Deco Large class with it's called Christmas Wishes Deco Large. And I chose 2 patterns to do on that Thursday night. We'll make a total probably of 6 cards, usually 6. And we're doing the polar bears and we're doing the robins on that night. So we're doing a Deco Large class on the 17th. On the 19th, I plan to use the Card Making Magic die set. No, that's not the one. You guys can see all these projects I have lined up here. It's pretty funny in a way. Well, I've misplaced the die set, but we're making the point, or we're using the oval set with the poinsettias stamps and poinsettias. It's the Card Making Magic with that one, and we'll be doing a class in that. Oh, it's right there. It's right in front of me. This one. Come in closer, please.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't come in closer with this one? This one. It's okay, I got it. We're going to use this set, and this is coming up on the 19th. On the following Thursday, we won't have class because that's Thanksgiving. On Saturday of Thanksgiving week, we are doing the Alice in Wonderland album. I don't have one to show you yet. And then I can go into December and tell you what I have planned. Thursday the 1st, I'm thinking we should do some more Christmas quilling. So that's what I have tentatively scheduled for Thursday the 1st. On Saturday the 3rd, we're going to do the 3 Fun Folds class and Let It Snow. And that is using the 3 folds I have in mind. Oops. Are I had so many cards on my desk, I had to organize them by theme. We have the Z-fold card. Z-fold. We have the double center step card, and we'll be making these card bases by hand. They're not difficult, they just seem like they would be. So we're going to make the double center step cards for a second card fold. And for a third card fold, we're going to do this little hidden panel card. And I'll share with you how I adhered this panel. So this is all going to be out of an 8x8 Let It Snow. So that's what I have coming up for you in the 3 folds class. That's on the 3rd. I don't know what I'm doing on the 10th yet, but on the 15th, I'll have to see if it's going to be the 10th or the 15th. I have Let's Make a Calendar using the new Flower Market paper set from Graphic 45. Those will be arriving here mid-November, so we should have that in plenty of time to do a Let's Make a Calendar that will either be on the 10th or the 15th, depending on how long I find it takes to make that. And let's see. That's what I know so far. So if there's something you specifically want to see inserted into our lineup for December, I still have a little room. And if there are if there are specific requests, please let me know. What kinds of questions, comments, or pearls of wisdom do you guys have for me? If you haven't already hit that like button, by the way, please hit that like button. I work hard, and that's my attaboy that tells me you like what you're seeing. So if you haven't already done that, please hit that like button. And for those of you who are not already subscribers, hit that subscribe button. You are not going to, well, yeah, it's your idea, Roberta. I'm just complying with your request. So if you aren't already a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. You're not going to want to miss any of the fun. I will. Let's see. I have to, I haven't inserted anything in a while, but I will. I can, yeah. I know I keep putting you off on this one, Annette. I will tell you that I almost never use double side inserts. I almost always use single side inserts. So I probably, but we will take a look at different kinds of inserts. So I'll figure out where to put that in. But we will do some inserts of some sort in some of that. Where I've only been using one card topper or two card toppers out of each set, I haven't been bringing inserts in very much, but we'll talk about decorating the inside of the card a bit with one of these. That's a good suggestion. I don't mean to ignore you. I just, like I said, I just haven't been inserting them because I haven't been opening packs of inserts just to do one or two card styles, but I'll figure it out. Any others? That's great. That's great. Any other questions you guys have? Just use a piece of paper. Okay, I can do that. All right. The alcohol ink I still have on the agenda. I actually do. We might get to that in December. If not, we'll do our best to get on in January because I have some beautiful. In fact, I even mentioned to you one of my projects with alcohol on acetate. I showed you my butterfly board, and we'll take a look at that when we do the alcohol ink again. So. Absolutely. Yes. Okay. Oh, you guys have good thoughts today. That's excellent. Using our gel plates, we can do gel plates again after the first of the year. We absolutely can. And I've ordered in a couple of winter kits to take a look at for late December, January. Super. Okay. All right. If you know somebody who could benefit from our channel, please pass our names along and our website as well. We, you know that we have great values for you, and we try to find the best products in the world. And then overall, between our products and our shipping rates, our shipping policies, I think we're probably one of the best values out there. You know that we do free shipping over $79, and we are more than happy to combine shipping to help you, get what you want when you want it, and then have just one shipping charge or add up your orders and hit that $79 threshold. So we're more than happy to work with you to make sure you get the best shipping rates that you can. I do want to mention now, just so you can plan accordingly, they do ask that all orders be redeemed before the first of the year. I don't want to carry partial orders into the new year. I just like to have that really clean as of the point that we go over January 1st. We will be back the next time that we have something happening is Tuesday, when we have our $2 Tuesday specials coming up. You guys have really loved that special. Oh my gosh. Some of you are scoring some amazing deals in $2 Tuesday. And on Wednesday, we'll be back with What's New Wednesday. On Thursday, we will be here with our next crafting class. On Fridays, we have our Fab Friday, which is just an incredible event where you get at least 50% off everything that's in the Fab Friday specials. And of course, next Saturday, we'll be back and we'll be doing those beautiful. I don't have any more of these to sell, but I will show you that we'll be back to do this. And I will have paper pads available soon, as soon as we know that we have, all of the class kits that we need built. I'll be putting up the extra stock of Let It Snow papers, and you can still buy the papers and do your own album. We're out of the black albums, so I'm not offering any more kits at this point, but we do have more paper packs that'll be going up. If there are no questions, comments, see, it's 12 there and 3 a.m. here, so I love the sale. You can stay awake. Yeah, I hear you. I know people are setting alarms all over the country because when I put the sale up, I can look a few minutes later and I'll have like 80 people shopping in the middle of the night. Oh, the things we go through. All right. So unless there are any other questions, comments, or pearls of wisdom, I'm going to say good night, Gracie.